Hey guys, what's going on? It's me Aiden again with another Maplestory commentary slash gameplay. And as you can see in the background, I was on my Crusader doing Magadia PQ for the first time in this character, and to be honest, this PQ was so eventful because a lot of shit went down and one of my party members died at the end. But anyway, what I'm going to be talking about in this video is two things in fact, and they actually relate to each other because in a way they are the same thing. It is Avatar: The Last Airbender and Avatar: The Legend of Korra. But first of all, I'm going to be talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender. I remember when I first started watching it when I was 14, so back in 2009. For the first time, obviously, apologize, I'm a bit sick today, but anyway, yeah, it came out in 2005, but you know, a bit of a late bloomer. Decided to watch it in 2009, and you know, the whole series was already made, but yeah, anyway, if you haven't already seen it, the first episode I ever saw was, I believe it was Avatar: The Last Airbender Winter Solstice Part 2. That was the first episode I watched, the Winter Solstice Part 2. And it was an okay episode because, you know, I watched it for like 5 minutes and it looked pretty cool. Like, the characters looked pretty cool because I got to see like Sokka, you know, Aang, you know, Katara, you know, they all seem pretty cool. So I decided to, you know, stick around for the next episode, which was the day after that, and I ended up watching the whole episode of the waterbending scroll, and it really impressed me. I liked it so much, and from that moment on, I almost like fell in love with the series itself, and I watched the whole thing, and it was just awesome. Like, I love the characters. You know, Aang's that person who's like, he's like a really young old man, if that makes sense. Well, I guess he is because, you know, he's been an iceberg for 100 years, you know, 112-year-old man. But anyway, yeah, he's quite like wise. I like that in the character. You know, they're quite wise. He's quite careful. He's a bit nice. You know, I like that, but I wish he could have been a bit more, you know, like ragged. You know, like more fiery in his demeanor and his attitude. But overall, I like this character a lot. You know, Sokka is kind of like the comic relief, the guy who can't bend like his sister Katara. You know, he's just the guy that he can think. He's the thinking guy, the guy that makes plans and stuff like that. And then there's like Katara, she likes Aang, you know, Aang likes her. She can waterbend like a boss, and because I like waterbending, waterbending is awesome. And you know, she's just like the person that she's kind of like the mother of the group. She can keep the group together and just holds everything together, make sure everything is like everything goes swell, kind of like Aang. Like in a way, Aang and Katara's personalities are very similar in the sense that they're quite wise and careful about things. And I think that's why in the end they, you know, they become in love with each other, and I don't know if they marry, but they come together in a marriage or something like that. But yeah, then I'll name the last one. I guess I won't name Zuko because you basically know who Zuko is. And I don't really have time to explain him. So yeah, because I kind of want to keep this commentary within 20 minutes. So yeah, and then there's Toph. You know, he's the ragged, you know, hardcore, fiery attitude. You say, you do this now, you're gonna die. That's it. If you don't do this, you're gonna be under some rocks. That's all I know. You're gonna be dead. But yeah, she's like really like rugged. She's really like strong. It's funny because she's a little girl and she's blind. Yet she's so like reckless. Not reckless, but like very like she's very good at earthbending. Apparently she's the best earthbender in the world. Well, she did create metal bending, so that's pretty cool. And you know, I really like the attitude about her. She was really always like a really cool character. That probably my second favorite character. I don't know who's my first favorite character because, you know, there's a couple of them and I can't really like decipher them. I can't really like choose out of which characters I like the most, but yeah, you know what I mean. And then there is, well, I watched the entire series and I really enjoyed it. Personally, my favorite season would have to be the first season because I kind of like those, you know, those little adventures that they have along the way. You know, they go to different places, they meet new people. I guess that happens through the whole entire like series, but I kind of, because I know it may sound weird, but everyone hates fillers, but I kind of like fillers like more than like not the normal storyline ones. Like actually, no. For anything else, I would hate fillers, but I like fillers better in Avatar: Last Airbender because they're really good fillers. Like, I can't explain it. It's just, they're really cool to watch, and I just really enjoy them. And yeah, my favorite season was the first one. The second season, it was at the first half of the second season, you know, it was really good. But then I think that it kind of got bogged down, started to slow down, started to get boring when, you know, when they were in Ba Sing Se for like freaking like 6 or 7 episodes or something like that. Yeah, they were there for like so long, and then like I got really bored. And then at the end, it was kind of cool with the climax, you know, like Azula shocking Aang, you know, when it was in the Avatar state. That was pretty crazy. And yeah, and then, you know, when they leave Ba Sing Se, and then the Earth King's like, the Earth Kingdom has fallen. And that was pretty epic. That was a pretty epic climax, I must admit. And then it goes to the Fire Nation season, the final season. And it was really cool because I really just liked it how, like, this is basically the journey, like, Zuko took to becoming, you know, good. Because he always had good inside of him, but, you know, it just never came out. In this season, the last season, Zuko's, you know, goodness and, you know, happiness and, you know, the way his real destiny came out, and then at the end he defied his father, and then yeah, he joined Aang's gang, the Team Avatar, like a boss. And yeah, they basically went through all that and then decided to join, you know, decided to make all the what's it called, all the nations, you know, the air temple, I don't know what it's called, the air temples, you know, the water nation, Fire Nation, Earth Kingdom, you know, they all like came together and they decided to create a new city called Republic City. And that's how it went. And regarding which is my favorite episode, and no, it is not in the first season, I think my favorite episode, well, it's 2 episodes, but it's kind of like in one because it's the same name. It's just part 1, part 2. I really enjoyed the Boiling Rock. I don't know why. It's just I like that escaping feeling. Like I always like those things, you know, like Prison Break, the TV show. I always like that because I like that. Like in a way, you feel like you're in it. You're actually there yourself because like you feel like you're having an adrenaline rush. And like in real life, I do enjoy having my adrenaline rushes. So, and it kind of felt like that, like because they're escaping the Boiling Rock, and that's pretty cool. I actually really enjoyed that episode, even though it was 2 episodes. And then they come back, and then they bring back Suki. They bring back Hakoda, Katara, and Sokka's father, and they bring back Chit Sang, that random guy who started a riot. That was pretty cool. And yeah, they brought them all back, and then it was pretty awesome ending. But yeah, overall, and then the ending was really good. I really liked how at the end, like Aang and Katara came together, like after all they've been through, like from the start. It's like, you know, she sees Aang in the iceberg, and you think all the way back then in that simple moment when they're just about to come together, and then they kiss, and then that's the end of Avatar Last Airbender, and then just says finish, and that is it. But yeah, if I were to give a rating for Avatar Last Airbender, I would probably give it a solid 10, mainly because I really like the storyline. I really like how it developed. You know, they didn't like rush into things too fast. Like even though they knew that Aang and Katara, like they loved each other from the start, but they never really, you know, it never became extremely clear until like the last couple of episodes. So yeah, what else? Yeah, I really liked it because everyone thinks that, like, I don't know if everyone thinks this way, but I'm pretty sure, like, the majority of people always think that it's, you know, since it's called Avatar, The Last Airbender obviously being, you know, Aang. I think it's just about him, it's based around him, but no, it's not. Like, it's actually based around Prince Zuko, Fire Lord Zuko now, and Aang, because, you know, because it's basically, Aang has to learn all the different types of bending. So like, you know, he already mastered airbending, you know, and then he has to learn water bending, fire bending, and earth bending. And then it's kind of like for Zuko, because, you know, he's always like, he was destined to, you know, catch with the Avatar, and, you know, he had to go chase Aang, but, you know, he really, like, it was never something that he wanted to do. It was something that his father enforced on him. Otherwise, you know, he cannot regain his honor and stuff like that. And basically, like, on the way through the series, you know, it was basically him, you know, going back to what he used to be like when he was younger. He was never an angry person. He was never a person like he was, you know, at the beginning of Avatar Last Airbender series. So yeah, it was basically him going through all these things to realize that he shouldn't be doing this, and so so it basically ends up in him becoming good, and, you know, joining with Aang, and then yeah. But yeah, I really love the series. It's another one of those series I love. You know, when I watch an anime, I don't know if you really consider Avatar Last Airbender an anime, but I'll say it's an anime. I like those animes, you know, where they travel around the world. That's why I like Pokemon, I like Avatar. It's just I like that traveling, aspect. Just go around the world, meeting new people, doing new things, learning new things, and meeting new people. And it's just I really like that aspect about it. That's why I really enjoyed about the Avatar: Last Airbender, the traveling aspect. That's the thing I enjoyed the most. How they went to so many different places and did so many different things. And yeah, wow, I talked 10 minutes. I talked 10 minutes about Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now to Avatar: The Legend of Korra. By the way, there has only been one season released so far, so I guess I can't really base my judgments off it entirely yet. But I'll just talk about it or I'll talk about what's happened already. So when you compare Aang to Korra, I personally like Korra way better than Aang, simply because I know I like Aang's wisdom and stuff like that, but I kind of enjoyed like I said before, what I liked about Toph, her fiery attitude, her her crazy demeanor, doing things that in a way they're reckless but they're not, and she's calm at the same moment. Because Avatar Aang and Avatar Korra, they're both similar in the sense that they are both calm at times, but Aang is has more wisdom, and he's really soft and caring. And Korra's like boom, 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 bam, and do everything and be reckless and hardcore and stuff like that. And she's got that real fire in her eyes, you could tell. And yeah, Legend of Korra, I'll say at the moment I'm at the crossroads. I'm kind of 50-50 of whether I like Avatar: Legend of Korra or Avatar: The Last Airbender better. I don't know, but yeah, I'm kind of a 50-50 at the moment. But anyway, more about the Legend of Korra. Obviously it was. I can agree with the common opinion that Avatar: The Legend of Korra was rushed, because it actually was rushed. You could tell. I mean, so much happened in 12 episodes. It was just insane. Amon being such a badass villain. When I compare Amon to Ozai, in terms of how cool they are in terms of being a villain, I liked Amon better. He was just more badass, more cool. I guess I just liked it that way. But what else? Yeah. I really just think it was rushed. I mean, I couldn't understand how Armand could be so from. I think you get to know about him from episode 3, I think it is, and then to episode 12, he just he was so strong at the start. You never see the downfall of a villain that strong, that powerful. Go on a downward spiral that quick and just vanish in a way. It was kind of because it was weird when you compare it to Avatar: Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. Ozai, he was alive and doing evil deeds and stuff like that for nearly 60 something episodes. Armand only did it for 12, so it's kind of weird, kind of strange, something different. But in a way, I guess that's what we're trying to aim for. With obviously they weren't going to make it the same thing as Avatar: Last Airbender. There had to be something new, something fresh, and I believe that the creators, well, they are obviously the same creators of Avatar: Last Airbender. I believe the creators did make something new, something fresh, because it's completely new. Everything is it's different. Because before I watched Avatar: The Legend of Korra, I heard that all the old gang were gone. Aang obviously can't be alive unless Korra. Then Korra couldn't be alive, but yeah, Aang's gone. Katara's there, but she's really old. Zuko's there, but you don't get to see him. So in the first season, maybe in the next season, I don't know. Toph is gone, and Sokka's gone as well. So, but then it's the cool thing I like about. Well, even though I wasn't really looking forward to Legend of Korra, because obviously all the old gang are gone, and I'd really miss them when watching it. But then, you realize that there's a lot of flashbacks you can see of them, and they have kids. So, Toph has a daughter, Lin Beifong. She's the chief of the metal bending police force or something like that. So, yeah, basically Toph taught them all metal bending. It was pretty cool. So, yeah, and then Aang had a son, Tenzin. She's pretty much the guy. Tenzin is pretty much the guidance for Korra. So whenever Korra needs advice, she comes to Tenzin, because like an Avatar: Last Airbender, Aang always gives good advice. He's very wise, and so that basically carried down to his son Tenzin. And yeah, regarding Korra and Mako, I know that a lot of people were like at the end like, oh, Marco's a huge douchebag because, you know, he was with Asami like the whole time, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I love you, Korra. But personally, the reason why I just personally think that I liked Korra and Mako better because I reckon it was a bit, you know, it was just a cuter couple, I guess you could say. It was a lot better because I guess it was in a way it was just because I liked Korra a lot better more than Asami. I don't know why I didn't like Asami. It was just something about it. I just like Korra and Mako better together. And yeah, Bolin is basically like Bolin. Bolin? I think that's how you pronounce it. But Bolin is, you know, basically the recreation of soccer. You know, he's the comic relief in the series. You know, he's serious at times, but the majority of the time, you know, he's funny. He's pretty intelligent. You know, yeah. And then there's Pabu. You know, he's obviously like the recreation of Momo. Then there's Naga, who's Korra's Pabu. I'll talk about Pabu first. Pabu is basically Bolin's pet, and so yeah, it's the recreation of Momo. And then there's Naga, who is Korra's animal guide, like Appa was Aang's animal guide. And yeah, so yeah, Naga's a pretty cool character. I really like how they made a polar bear, a polar bear dog or whatever it's called. That was a really cool idea. Pretty badass animal, to be honest. And yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed the romance between Mako and Korra better. Mainly just because I like Korra better. Anything else to talk about? Oh yeah. By the way, does anybody get the sneaky suspicions regarding Armand again? Does anyone get the sneaky suspicion that Armand is still alive? I don't know, like, I don't know. Like, remember before, like, when they were on the boat scene, like, Tarlok and Armand at the end, they're on the boat, and then, Tarlok's like, oh, something like old times or something like that, and then, like, Armand, like, begins, like, tearing or something like that. I don't know. I think there was something significant about that said basically that Armand is still alive. I don't know. It's just this weird thought I have in my head. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm not sure. What else? Legend of Korra. I just really, like I said before, I'm probably at like 50-50 right now with whether I like Legend of Korra or Avatar: The Last Airbender, because, you know, it's just, I mean, it's kind of indicating that in the end, like, by the time Avatar: Legend of Korra is done, which will probably be 2015 or something like that, or somewhere within that time frame. Yeah, like, I'll probably end up liking Legend of Korra better when it's finished, like, being made. So I don't know, but yeah, at the moment I'm kind of 50-50. And anything else to talk about? Hopefully you get to see Zuko in the second season, because, you know, I really want to see Zuko and see what he looks like. I kind of found it found it a bit cheesy that, you know, Zuko has the same voice as General Iroh. You know, Zuko had a son. He called him Iroh, and, you know, he's a general, and he has the same voice as Zuko in the previous series. So I don't know, it's kind of strange, but, you know, it was pretty cool. He's a pretty good character, I guess. What else is there to talk about? I guess there isn't really much else to talk about. And wow, this is a really long commentary. Obviously it wasn't 20 minutes, went for about 18, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed as always, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Peace.